What's the dumbest thing you've ever been afraid of as a child? The shark in the pool. The shark in my pool was going to come out of the light in the deep end. That's where pool sharks live. I was afraid Chucky would crawl up from the toilet while I was pooping and stab me in the butt. I have no idea why I thought this would happen. Also doorway gremlins. Legit was afraid I would walk through a door and there would be gremlin monsters on the other side at the top waiting to pounce on me and kill me. Again, no idea why I thought this would happen. I had the exact same fear with the gremlins. We lived in an old house, and whenever I felt a draft I just knew that was a gremlin trying to beat me to the next doorway. The vacuum cleaner. If you clean a vacuum cleaner, you would make the vacuum cleaner, and you would be a vacuum cleaner. This hurts my brain. God hearing me swearing. Sometimes I would hide in the closet from God and just chanted for a while all the bad words I have learned from the older kids. God can't hear inside the closet. So that's why the gays were in there. /s. The time before I was old enough to realize I was too large to be sucked down the bathtub drain. Me too. I hated the noise it made with the last dregs of water going down. I'd have to run out the room before it got there. The best friend of my dad. Honestly, he is such a funny, amazing and nice person, and I was literally crying and screaming while running away. Same here, man. I was terrified as a kid after I had a nightmare about him driving me and my sister around in his convertible. Which actually happened. Pressure cookers. Pressure cookers still and always will scare me. Honestly, they should. Shots/vaccinations. I was convinced that my veins were already full of blood, and injecting any more liquid into them would cause them to explode. I wonder how easy it would be to convince an anti-vaxxer that this was true. Just make a factual looking meme about it, post it on a popular anti-vaxxer FB page and watch it go viral. You know the sound a dove and pigeon makes? I used to think they were ghosts. I thought my parents were lying to me about it being birds. I would run back into the house if I heard one sing. My grandmother once told me that mourning doves will only coo to people who are about to die. She learned that some tall tales are not appropriate for kids after the existential panic attack 2 weeks later. Small soldiers. I remember having nightmares after I watched that film. I don't blame you. That movie is ducking weird. The original Black Mirror. The old lady with the gun from Ratatouille. Same. Why is this like the best one? The man at the bottom of the stairs. I've never seen his spooky ass, but Jay know he chases me up every time. Oh, thank God I wasn't the only one. Balloons. Specifically, balloons popping. When I was really young my dad popped one near my face as a joke, but it really traumatized me. I hated going to birthday parties because there were always games where you had to pop a balloon in some form. I eventually grew out of it, but even now at 32 I still feel a bit uneasy when I hear that sound. Me too. I remember going to a party and crying because they had the pop a balloon game and I didn't want to. I was okay with other kids popping theirs, so long as it wasn't too close to me, but no way I was going to pop one. In the end the mother of the party gently snipped the neck of mine, so it deflated slowly. In the end the mother of the party gently snipped the neck of mine, so it deflated slowly. That's sweet. D. Santa Claus. Nothing scary than a old man coming down the chimney of little kids and giving the presents. Flushing the toilet at night. It seemed so loud and would literally freak me out. Flushing the toilet at all for me. I used to press the button and run. I was very anxious about eating soup. I thought we had a stomach-like compartment for solids and a separate one for liquids. The solids were processed by the body and became poop. The liquids were processed and became urine. Two complete systems independent of each other. If food or drink went where it wasn't meant to go, the person would cough and splutter to give the body a chance to move it to the appropriate receptacle, hence the concerned parent saying, "Oops, wrong hole, you okay?" Someone told me it was unhealthy to have a drink with your meal, when in fact the opposite is true, reinforcing this separate systems idea in my mind. So where did soup go? The chunky kind. And what about stews? Gravy? Ice cream? The more I thought about it, the more anxious I became. I thought it went down the wrong pipe. Wrong hole sounds like a different problem. When I lock the toilet cabinet won't open anymore, and I have to stay there forever. Haven't done it until middle school, and yes, that leads to many embarrassing moments. Used to have the same fear. Once when I was little, I locked myself in a bathroom in an embassy to take a dump. Little did I know that the lock was stiff. So when I went to open it I couldn't. I was scared shitless. Until my dad came and unlocked the door from the outside. After that I was scared to lock the door for a few years. So I pretty much never did. Then I became a strong boy and realized that I could easily open it. Pretty much the same exact experience. Only it was in a mall that I got myself locked into the bathroom. The hair for lumps and woozle song from Winnie the Pooh. Me too. I was afraid of Charlie Chaplin. All his movies used to creep me out. Just seeing his pic for some reason filled me with fear. Probably Hitler. The bookshelf. So, when I was kid I was absolutely sure I put this green pea snap on a table and saw it crawling. I refused to eat it, thinking it was a bag of bugs pretending to be dead, so you would be tricked to eat it. Yes. 4-year-old me was dumb. It was when I was in my teens that I found out my old nanny brought me to her boyfriend's place when my parents were out, and while they would do it next door, they would give some kind of medicine to knock me out, apparently. I picked up a pea cracker in the midst of passing out and hallucinated about it. It was also why my nanny got fired not long after. The red lights from cell towers. They always looked so scary at night. Especially on a foggy night when you can kinda see them. I was afraid of grass for a long time, but particularly male clover. I don't know why. Edit. Can't find a picture of male clover, but they were thin strands of bumps with like little seeds you could rip off effortless. Not harmful plants at all. You were a variety of grass, like genuine fear. You weren't just grossed out by it. Thought a huge human-sized panda was waiting for me up the stairs of this 2-story apartment. My aunt lived on the bottom floor, where the entrance was. I was like 4, but whenever we walked past I got a bad feeling. Automatic stairs. I thought if I wouldn't jump in time I would be trapped and crushed. Public places and big groups of people, and I still afraid of it. I'm 22 and nearly had an anxiety attack in the checkout line at Walmart a year ago. Curse my anxiety. Flushing the toilet. When I was really little my dad's best friend told me that when you flush a toilet on an airplane it just opens to the sky below. And if you're not careful you'll get sucked in and fall to your doom. Terrified me. Guy was / is kind of a jerk tbh. Close bracket. I think I thought it would come out. The dark. Still am tbh. Oh, and the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. I was afraid I could kill people with my thoughts. Apropos of nothing, except maybe my mildly Catholic upbringing. I decided if I didn't pray every night to every religious figure I could think of, I had a really long list I'd memorized. Oh my god. I was so neurotic. Somehow the universe would know, and my loved ones would die. I was about 7. It was around the time where you make first confession and communion. So I guess I'd caught religion. I got over it after about a year. Chickens. Don't worry. Same. Why? Tapeworms. As a child I asked my parents why it was so itchy down there. After learning the horrific truth I was so terrified that I held in a mega doochie for hours. The most painful screening of Air Force One I have ever had the displeasure of enduring. The song Somebody that I used to know, and now I feel incredibly old. Ducks. Still am cause I got bit on my left nut as a kid. The letters PF on the microwave after a power outage. Our scary dark hallway. I would turn all the lights on in the house along the path to my room and go back and turn off the ones I didn't need anymore. The red lights from cell towers. They always looked so scary at night. The dark. Deep down we all know it's harmless. But we've also all felt something when getting a midnight snack like boy, when the lights are off call me Usain Bolt, because by the time the power shuts off I'm already up the stairs and in my room. Getting shocked if I try to plug in an electrical appliance. My mother. Crowd attention. Land sharks. Sharks don't walk around the beach at night. Knocks on door candogram. Windmills. Wonder Woman spinning and changing. My sister is 6 years older than me and my twin. When we were 5 she told us she was secretly a witch and she needed to eat children to survive. Forest fires. We live far away from any substantial forest. Michael Jackson. My sister told me he was a demon. The Thriller video ducked up a generation. I used to have a recurring nightmare about a vampire parrot that we kept as a pet for some reason. In my dream, it was a family pet, and we just kept him in a cage, hanging from the ceiling in the hall. It was just a regular looking parrot, totally unassuming. My family believed it was just a cute, feathery, colorful critter, but nobody else realized it would feed on me when they couldn't see it. It would steal my blood when I cried to my parents. They refused to believe me. Nobody believed me. Here's the thing. It didn't bite me to drain my blood. It hooked me up to and forth and drained my blood directly into its little bird body. I don't actually know how it managed to do this. There would be some twist of dream logic and suddenly it was just happening. In the dream, I would be sitting in a chair, fourth attached, blood draining into the evil bird. My parents might even be standing right there. I would cry and cry because he's taking too much of my blood. Mommy, he's going to kill me. It was all happening right in front of them, but they would just tell me to stop making things up. It's like they couldn't see the dark transfer unfolding right in front of them, and the bird knew. I never actually had a parrot as a pet. He only existed in my dreams, but he popped in to have his feast every week or so for a significant period of my 3-year-old life. Probably will get buried, but the game over screens from Snood for the Gamma Boy Advance used to freak me out. Looking at it now it still makes me slightly uncomfortable. Oven. The toilet because of the look. Who's talking to movie. The Witch in Snow White. Especially when she's cackling and going into a cellar and all you can see is her eyes. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.